It seems like it was just yesterday when EA decided to create the most downvoted Reddit comment of all time when telling a user it's all about a sense of pride and accomplishment of completing a stupidly long grind for new characters. But yes, we're coming up to the 6th anniversary of DICE's Star Wars Battlefront 2, which was released back in 2017. A couple of years ago, EA confirmed that Battlefront 2 would no longer be receiving any further updates, with DICE moving its full focus onto the next Battlefield game, which was Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 2042 went on to become the lowest rated installment in the series over on Metacritic, as well as EA eventually confirming that the game did not meet sales expectations. As of this month, there are a bunch of Star Wars games currently in development. These include Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, a PSVR game, Star Wars Hunters, a new FPS coming from developer Respawn, a new strategy game also coming from Respawn, Star Wars Eclipse, Knights of the Old Republic remake, and an untitled open world Star Wars game from Ubisoft. But one game in particular that hasn't been given any confirmation, any sliver of news that it's being worked on, is Battlefront 3. It's beginning to feel like this series is cursed from ever getting a third entry to a franchise, and that's starting to piss me off. Officially, the reason why DICE isn't working on Battlefront 3 is simply that they're focused solely on the next Battlefield game, with CEO Andrew Wilson suggesting that they could follow Warzone and Halo Infinite's path. Unofficially, DICE actually pitched Battlefront 3 a couple of years ago, however EA turned it down due to licensing costs. Gaming insider Tom Henderson revealed that a former developer claims that it would take 20% more sales to make the same money compared to a Battlefield game. To me, this is absolutely crazy due to what Battlefront 2 was building towards, only for DICE to move off from the franchise and focus on Battlefield, which hasn't put out a worthwhile game since Battlefield 1. Only recently I found myself playing Battlefront 2, and like countless times beforehand, I was simply blown away by how visually stunning this game looks years after it's been released. And ultimately, it's depressing that this game, which DICE spent a lot of time with to improve after the insane amount of negative feedback that the game originally had, has been left behind. What's crazy to me is that Battlefront 2 still had so much potential to be an even greater game, so why not take all of that and expand upon it with Battlefront 3? It's been confirmed that EA's Battlefront series has sold 33 million copies, so I mean the demand is clearly there for a Star Wars FPS game. And honestly, Battlefront 3 could be an incredible game. From adding a swath of heroes such as Mace Windu, Ahsoka and Jango Fett, to adding a bunch of new maps such as Mustafar and the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. For the fans of the series who still remember the original Battlefront franchise, I don't know what we have to do to get Galactic Conquest again, because come on, this game mode could be such an awesome addition to a new Battlefront game. DICE are easily capable of giving us an incredible Star Wars FPS game. I'm sure Battlefront 2 would have sold even better if it wasn't dragged into the whole loot box controversy that was no doubt pushed into the game by upper management. I mean, 19 million players picked up Battlefront 2 for free from the Epic Games Store promo, with no doubt a large percentage of them realising just how amazing this game is. Looking back, EA and DICE really botched the launch of both their Battlefront titles, and now it feels like EA is stepping back from wanting to deal with another serious backlash, because to them, it probably isn't worth the hassle, especially since they've got another FPS franchise in Battlefield that hasn't got a passionate fanbase attached to it like Star Wars. It feels like EA is looking at Battlefront and thinking, we can't monetize this franchise as much as we'd like, so what's the point? Last year, DICE's general manager Rebecca Cortez stated that DICE has no time for other projects and is committed to the Battlefield franchise, which means we ain't getting a new DICE entry anytime soon. So with no Battlefront 3 on the horizon, and with no other major FPS developer around to pick up the pieces and create their own version of Battlefront, it looks like us fans are going to go the next couple of years or so at least until we get any major news of a new Battlefront game. Comment down below your ideas for Battlefront 3, or which developer you'd like to see attempt to make their own Star Wars multiplayer FPS. Don't forget to like the video as well. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.